Competition. When is it good and when is it bad? In this episode, we're going to talk about competition and when competition is good and when it's bad. My name is Michael Ferrara, and I help entrepreneurs and network marketers build a business and a lifestyle that they truly love and enjoy by teaching them how to unlock their inner power. So with competition, is it good and is it bad? When is it good? When is it bad? For me, when I was growing up, I was very, very competitive, almost to the point where it was not good. I was, to put it bluntly, a real sore loser. In sports, if I struck out, if anything went wrong, if my team was losing, if I wasn't the best, I would get so furious and so upset to the point where everything else didn't matter. I was almost in like a deep state of like depression. I would take a strikeout, with me for the next 3 or 4 innings, which would affect my play in the field. And it would affect my at-bats. In football, if for whatever reason I got tackled and I felt that I should have broke that tackle or whatever, I would get very down. Again, to the point where it affected me moving forward. I was a complete sore loser. And that wasn't good, right? It was the opposite of good, because it's one thing to get mad, it's one thing to get upset, but when you're so competitive that if things don't go your way, you just shut down and then you let it linger on and it makes you into this ugly person, it isn't good, right? So going on throughout life, I learned that, hey, you can't be a sore loser, right? You got to be okay with not being the best. You have to be okay with striking out. You have to be okay with not getting a touchdown every time you touch the ball. You have to be okay with, hitting the ball into the woods. Whatever the case may be, you have to be okay with not always winning, right? Not always being the best. So as I got older, I almost went from one extreme to the next. I went from being this very competitive guy that had to win and be the best at everything to being the laid back, it's cool if we don't win, it's cool if we're just having a good time and whatever, to the point where I didn't even want to compete anymore. It wasn't that I didn't want to compete, but if there was a chance that I wasn't going to win at whatever it was, I didn't want to do it. Now this all started, I can think back to middle school, high school, right? So let's just use chasing girls, for example, right? Like if I happened to like a girl that was in school and I found out that maybe she liked someone else also, so it was kind of the competition between me and this other guy, I was no longer interested in that girl. I wanted nothing to do with it because there was a chance that I wouldn't get the girl, right? So I just didn't want to compete. I didn't want that. I didn't want that chance that I wouldn't win. So I went from that extreme competition pushing you forward, just like I gotta win, to the point where, hey, if there's a chance I'm not going to succeed or win in it, I tended to shy away from it, which is not the best place to be, right? You kind of want to be somewhere in the middle, in between there. So flash forward to my business career. When I started my insurance agency, I was among other people starting their agencies as well. And I was okay with that. It was kind of like a team effort, right? I'm good with team efforts. I'm good with everyone trying to go out and do the best they can and succeeding at what they do. Now, what I didn't like is the district manager in our group, competing us against each other. Like, hey, this guy over here sold 10 policies this week. How much did you sell? And with that, it pushed me away. It turned me off because I didn't want to compete against this other person, right? Circumstances are different. It's not like we're playing the same game. Essentially we are, but we're not, all right? We're two different people. So to compare me to someone else, it just, to me, wasn't fair. Like, I was happy that that person was succeeding, and I was also happy that I was succeeding because my wins, to me, was successful, right? I was selling policies, I was growing my agency, I was making money, everything was good. But then I would go to these meetings, and they'd be like, well, this person's selling so much more. They're making so much more money, making me feel like my successes were now a failure. See, and that's bad. That turned me off. It's like, you know what? My success is my success. Don't compare me to someone else because I'm not that other person. If I'm happy with going at my speed, so be it. So what did I do? I ended up not going to these meetings. I didn't go to the rewards. I didn't go to the big meetings. Like every time I could get out of going to a meeting, I didn't go. Because after I would leave those meetings, guess what? I'd be depressed. I'd be feeling down. I just want to go home and not do anything, which is the opposite of being motivated and successful, right? But when I was left alone, doing my own things, getting my own wins, I was excited. I was motivated. I went through and did it. Now, fast forward, I don't know, 10 years, right? Because 8 years, actually. And then I joined the network marketing industry, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But then I found the same thing, right? When I first joined network marketing, I was having some good wins. I was bringing people onto my team. I was selling memberships. Everything was going good. I was making money. I was excited. And then you go to these Super Saturdays, or you go to these meetings, you go to these events, and what are they doing? Now they're comparing you against everyone else. And you kept hearing the famous phrase, which I do not like, is success loves speed, which to me is bullshit, right? Some people, they move fast. God bless them. Go nuts. I get it. The CEOs of these companies and all this stuff, they want you to go fast because guess what? You're putting more money in their pocket, and they know the quicker you go, the more money they're going to get out of you before you fizzle out and go away, right? The slow and steady guy goes through, they get no recognition. They get just, hey, why can't you do better? But they can consistently keep pushing through, consistently putting those little wins, and at the end of the day, they make that company a lot more money and a lot more successful, right? So going back to the networking events, going back to the Super Saturdays, going back to all these, ring earners and all this stuff, like, look, I'm happy that these people are successful. Don't get me wrong. I encourage success. I want people to succeed. That's just the way it is. But when it comes to you comparing me against them, it's a turnoff. It shuts me down. I don't want anything to do with it. So in that point, competition to me is bad. Some people, competition fires them up, right? You say, hey, this guy sold 20 policies this month. You only did 10. Why can't you do more? Some people, that gets that fire going, and they're going to go out and they're going to do 25. They're going to do everything they can to beat that other person, which is awesome. That personality, God bless them. I wish I had it. But for some reason, I shut it off. I went from that attitude to a different one, and just that flip switch for me. So competition to me, it just doesn't work. Now, I don't know if you're the same way. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. So to compare yourself to other people and to be compared to other people, to me, just is not fair. And it's not fair because we're all different people. We all move at different speeds, right? And again, this all has to go with your mindset, right? So in every episode, I like to give out a valuable free resource. And in this episode, I'd like to give you how to explode your income with these 5 money mindset hacks. There's some great information in there. I know you're going to find value in it, and it's just going to get you to start thinking right? Because if you think right, if your mind's right, you can really do awesome things. And going back to this comparing yourself to other people, just don't do it. Never compare yourself to anyone else, because you are the only you. You are the best you can be. And if you compare yourself to someone else, you're going to set yourself short. Just like puberty. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was a late bloomer, right? All my friends, they started getting their pubic hairs under their arm, and I'd be looking, and if I saw one spurting out, I was like, yes. But every other time, I'd be like holding my arms shut because everyone else had their underarm hair, and I had none, right? So if I was comparing myself to them, I'd be like, man, why am I a failure? Just because it wasn't my time yet, right? We all take different time. We all work at different speeds. So to constantly hear this, success loves speed, you got to be fast. You got to go out there and you just have to knock them dead right away. It's going to turn people off. It's going to work for some people, which is awesome, and it's going to turn other people off. So competition can be good and it can be bad. So you can take it either way, but my point of this whole rambling on here is don't compare yourself to other people. Compete against yourself. Set yourself goals and compete against those, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about that someone else is making X amount of money that you want to make. Maybe you don't know that it took that person 15 years to get to that point, and you're just seeing the success now, right, where you're just starting out. So comparing yourself to them is just, it's going to set yourself up for failure, and you don't want that. You want the right mindset. You want the mindset of, you know what, I'm going to grow at my pace. I'm going to do the things that I want to do. And get those little wins. Set up those little wins to keep you moving forward, because the key here is to success is you always got to be moving forward. You always got to be, moving forward. You always got to be doing the actions to eventually produce the results. But too many times we look at those results and we compare the results to other people's results, and it shuts down the actions. Which, if you shut down the actions, you're going to shut down your results, right? So don't worry about the results. Just worry about the actions and do what it is that makes you happy. Move at your speed, move at your pace, and set yourself up for your wins. What's comfortable to you? Now, I know we need to get comfortable being uncomfortable, but the point of that is if you're looking at someone else's uncomfortableness compared to yours, and it's too far outside that box, you're not going to do anything at all. So you want to take those little steps. You want to set that uncomfortable situation to your level, right? You don't want to make this extreme goal. Take little goals. Take that extreme goal and cut it down into little goals. If you want to make $10,000 a month, set a goal of making $500 the first month. You hit that $500, awesome. Let's do $750. Let's do $1,000. Let's do $1,200. Let's do $2,000, $2,500, $5,000. And eventually you'll get to that $10,000. But if you just say, you know what, I need to make $10,000 this month, and you only make $1,000, which is awesome, by the way, you're going to think you failed. You'll be like, man, it's almost impossible to make $10,000. I busted my tail off to only make $1,000. But you're learning. If you keep doing what you do, and you learn as you go along, and you keep doing more, that 1,000 becomes 2,000. That 2,000 becomes 4,000. You start doubling and tripling your income. But if you compare yourself to someone else, like, well, hey, that guy started doing $40,000 in 6 months. I can barely make 1,000, 2,000. It's going to turn you off. It's going to shut you down. The goal's too big, and you're not going to want to do it. So competition is good. Competition can be bad. For some personalities like myself, competition is going to turn me off. I'm not interested in being compared to someone else. I'm not interested in getting, that whole recognition type situation. I want to move at my pace. I want to do things, at my speed that I'm okay with and not too far outside of my comfort zone. I'm good with the uncomfort zone, but if it's too far outside the uncomfort zone, I don't want anything to do with it, and then I do nothing, so no one's winning, right? So just know who you're dealing with. If you're a leader on a team, if you're building a team like myself and you have a very big team, you're going to run into these different personalities. So what I'm telling you is you need to understand your team. You need to understand who you're working with. You need to understand yourself to know what personality type you're working with, to know what's going to help people succeed, because at the end of the day, you want to be successful and you want to help other people be successful, yes? Well, if you want that for yourself and you want that for other people, you need to know how to interact with these people, because one size never fits all. These rewards, these trips, these recognitions, all this stuff that they put out, that's all great and, that's fine and dandy, and some people are going to win those. But if that is so far outside of your comfort zone right now and you're trying to strive to get to those wins and do stuff that you've never done before, become a person that you never were before, you might set yourself up for failure, and you might end up wrecking a great career that's in front of you if you didn't worry about that big bull crap, right? You set yourself up for little wins. You did those little wins. You take yourself on vacation. You pay for it for a while you can. And then eventually, those little wins become big wins. And you now know how to teach other people to do the same thing. Because in this industry, in any industry, whether you own your own business, you're an insurance agent, network marketer, business owner, real estate, whatever it is, you want to be helping other people, because the only way you can get ahead in life is by helping other people. You can never do it by yourself. So understand what it takes for you, and just know there's other people out there just like you, and embrace it. Don't be someone else. Be you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you pick up this week's free resource, How to Explode Your Income with These 5 Money Mindset Hacks. I know you're going to get some valuable information on it. I appreciate you hanging in here. I appreciate you hanging out with me because I always appreciate you. You know, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for, you know, this beautiful day that we have. I'm so grateful to be here, to be able to talk to you, to be able to just spend a few minutes with you. So go out there, make today a great day. Remember to smile. It feels good and it looks so good on you, right? Again, Michael Ferrara, I appreciate you, and we will catch you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.